Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock. In this video I want to talk about the week that we have coming up ahead of us. I think there's going to be a lot of really exciting moments in the market. We have some earnings that I really want to pay attention to. I put out a video earlier today talking about two of those companies. Coinbase was a third company. I'm pretty excited about that one, but I don't think it's going to be a market catalyst for us. Maybe it tells us a little bit about the crypto market, but right now in this video, I'm interested in the overall markets. I didn't mention there's a third company I want to talk about. I think it deserves its own video, so it doesn't fall within the scope of this video either, but I think it is one that I should most definitely have out to you guys for tomorrow, perhaps the morning video before the trading hours start in the market open. I have just one thing before we get started. There's the link for my Patreon down in the description. If you want to hear more of my commentary and see more of my products and services, including I just put out my CPI projection over there on the Patreon for February 2023, which comes out on March the 14th. So if you want access to that exclusive content, please click the link down in the description. Head on over, check it out. You won't be sorry. All right. With that said, I'm Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Let's get right into it. So, firing things off bright and early on Tuesday, we have earnings from Walmart and Home Depot, just two incredibly large companies that are really going to talk a lot about the consumer, tell us a lot about the consumer, and hopefully give us guidance that really helps the markets to keep on rallying. We want to listen for any sort of indication of strength or weakness about the consumer related to their business and related to the economy in general. So that is before the market opens tomorrow. Both of those companies report, and I believe that they are going to move the markets based on what they say. So if we see strong green, we know that in the earnings calls that they told us very good things that they see about the economy moving forward and that the consumer is strong. If we see a lot of red, then we know that they talk a lot about uncertainty or weakness ahead coming from the consumers. We're really going to have to watch and listen as they say. That's going to set the tone for the rest of the week, in my opinion, for trading. Now, I did say that there was a third company, and that company is Nvidia. And Nvidia, I believe, deserves its very own video. Their earnings come out on Wednesday, February 22nd, after the market closes. That means that I want that video out to you as soon as possible so you have time to digest that information and go out and do your own research if you haven't already. Possibly it's a company that you already invest in. Maybe it's something that you're interested in trading. Maybe it's just the earnings themselves that you're interested in trading. So I do want to get my research polished off for that and get it back out to YouTube as fast as possible. So I said that Walmart and Home Depot in my last video were over $300 billion companies. Well, Nvidia is over a $500 billion company. They are enormous. So we want to pay attention to that, especially being in the chip sector. What does it tell us about AI? These are all things that we most definitely want to know. So Tuesday before the market opens, Walmart, Home Depot, watch my other video that I put out earlier today on that one. Nvidia, that's a video I've yet to put out, but I'm absolutely excited about their earnings. I think we're going to get big news from them. So until I have my research done, until I get it back out to you, I'll give you my decision then. Hopefully I get a clear indication of what direction they could possibly move from where they're currently at. Also, in the week ahead, we have Fed minutes coming out on Wednesday, February 22nd at 2 p.m. We want to watch that, see what they said at their last meeting, and maybe that sheds some light on the new summary of economic projections that we have coming out towards the end of March, March 22nd, March 23rd. It's on the 23rd following their meeting that we get that next summary of economic projections, and it may be a market catalyst. We're going to have to wait and see if we get any sort of surprising information or insight that lets us know just how hawkish, dovish the Fed is, and is it something that's already priced into the markets. Thursday, we get initial jobless claims, some more jobless information. We would most definitely want to watch that for any sorts of changes in unemployment. As of right now, I expect it to be status quo, much like what we got last week. The same this week, still a tight labor market, and possibly any news that we get about the consumer in the near term, probably that's still pretty strong. Those are my guesses. With that said, Friday then, we have two big things. We have PCE and we have consumer sentiment. PCE, will it continue the narrative that we saw in CPI and PPI? Honestly, it has a high correlation to what we see in the CPI, although it is measured a little bit differently. So it should move pretty much in the same direction. It should continue the same narrative. We will have to watch it for and pick through it for individual differences. Consumer sentiment's the other one. We get the final report on consumer sentiment, and that's at 10 a.m. on Friday. PCE, by the way, comes with personal income and outlays, which is due at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. Both of those things do have the potential to move the markets. Now, consumer sentiment probably will not change much from the advance estimate that we got from that earlier in the month. So I don't know that consumer sentiment is going to be the same catalyst that it may have been before. So not much should change there, but we're going to have to watch it for changes in inflation expectations, for example, or any sorts of drops in consumer sentiment or drops in those inflation expectations. So all of those things, those are things that we absolutely want to pay attention to in this week ahead, as they have the potential to possibly move the markets from where they currently sit. So let me summarize. Walmart, Home Depot, we want to watch to see what they have to say about the consumer. Nvidia could not only tell us about consumer, but also business trends on the server side of things, especially with AI and machine learning, because they are one of the leaders in that space. So we want to see about the health that they've experienced in the last quarter, and we also want to see the guidance that they have coming forward for us throughout 2023, at least what they see happening for us in 2023. Those are going to be huge catalysts, in my opinion. We also have FOMC minutes, which may be a market catalyst. It really depends on what we see versus what we expect when those minutes come out at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, the 22nd. And then jobless claims, probably status quo, but watch it anyway as that comes out. And then finally on Friday, PCE. We'll see if we get what we expect, that inflation is still not moderating as much as we expected. Much of the inflation strength that we saw in CPI and PPI, just a continuation of the story. It'd be nice to see it tick to the downside a little bit where we have evidence against it. That would help the markets to rally. If we get the same thing, it could hold steady. And if it comes out unexpectedly much worse, that could cause the markets to tank. But like I said, I don't expect PCE to change the narrative that we have coming from CPI and PPI. So we do want to watch that. This week could be sort of a red week where we kind of give back a little bit before possibly a next run up because, well, I had to share my CPI video with you that I have. I'll have to share my CPI video with you next week after we see about the PCE. It is already available over at my Patreon. So if you want to click that link down in the description to go over and check that out, you also get access to the Excel sheet that it's on that you can pick through it yourself, change up some of the numbers, and even do some of your own analyses if you're so inclined to do so. You can also chat with me in my community over in the private Discord that's part of that. We'd love to have you over there as part of the community. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you very much for watching. If you would like to support this channel, hit the like button, subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to see anytime my videos come out. Remember that Patreon. Also, there are some other links that you can find down in the description where just by signing up and depositing some cash, you also get some form of cash thrown back at you as well. So thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. We'll see you in the next video.
Well, hello there. I see you stuck around for the end. You should congratulate yourself. That was a long video. Well, here's your bonus. Have a great day. Love, Dr. Stock.